You sit around a crackling fire, nudging your friend because a giant cave bear is roaming outside right in the shadowy darkness. But you have no words to say, "Look out behind you." Your vocal cords can only make raw, unformed breath sounds in panic. You can only grunt frantically, point a trembling stick finger, and make wide panicked facial gestures to warn your cave tribe. For 99% of human history, passing on vital survival news was not done through texting, it was a life or death daily game. Modern humans spend hours tapping on glass screens to send messages. But complex spoken language is a remarkably recent evolutionary invention. So how did your distant ancestors warn each other, share critical discoveries, or form lifelong friendships before words even existed in nature? Imagine standing on a sun-scorched African savanna 300,000 years ago, surrounded by tall golden grass and rustling hidden bushes. Your body relies entirely on posture, sharp eye contact, and dramatic facial expressions to transmit immediate raw intent without speaking a single word. Pointing a hand finger toward a distant fruit tree or waterhole was one of humanity's very first universal and crucial survival tools. Silent hand gestures worked brilliantly during the bright sunny day. But the second darkness fell or thick trees blocked your sight, signals vanished. In complete night darkness, if you could not see your tribe members' physical arm movements, you were completely blind to their urgent warnings. That physical visual limit forced your ancestors to rely far more heavily on sound, making raw vocalizations the ultimate long-distance communication bridge. A sharp high-pitched vocal grunt meant instant nearby danger, while a low gentle throat hum communicated absolute safety and group calm. Your brain naturally decoded pitch and emotional tone long before it ever evolved to process structured grammar rules or complex vocabulary. Yet vocal sound alone was not enough to hold a growing tribe together without touch, leading early humans directly to an evolutionary social crisis. Look at primates today. Monkeys spend up to 20% of their waking hours picking bugs and dirt out of each other's fur. This physical grooming releases relaxing endorphins, lowers heart rates, and builds essential trust and social bonds across the entire primate band. For millions of years, physical touch was the primary emotional glue holding early hominid groups together in small, tight-knit prehistoric survival communities. But as your ancestors' brains expanded, tribe sizes began to grow rapidly from 20 individuals to 50, 80, and eventually over 100. Here is the massive evolutionary problem: physical grooming is strictly one-on-one. You cannot physically groom 4 friends at the same time. If a tribe grew past 50 members, your ancestors would need to spend over 6 hours every single day just picking fur to keep everyone friendly. Spending half the day grooming meant nobody had time to hunt mammoth meat, forage for berries, or watch out for lurking saber-toothed predators. British anthropologist Robin Dunbar calculated that without a faster way to bond, early human social groups would completely fracture and fall apart. To survive in bigger groups, your ancestors desperately needed a revolutionary tool, a way to groom multiple friends simultaneously across a distance. Evolutionary biology calls this vocal grooming, using vocal sound waves to massage the emotional minds of several tribe members all at once. Instead of sitting together picking fleas for hours, an ancient human could sit by the fire and make comforting, rhythmic vocal sounds to 3 friends. Your brain responded to these warm vocal tones by releasing the exact same soothing endorphins as physical touch, instantly creating a sense of safety. Vocal grooming allowed early human groups to expand far beyond the strict physical limits of 8 bands, reaching the famous Dunbar number of 150. You could now signal warmth, friendship, and group loyalty to someone sitting across the entire camp without ever laying a single finger on them. But as group size exploded to 150 people, a dark new threat emerged inside the tribe: how could you spot untrustworthy members? When your ancestors first started replacing physical touch with sound, they did not suddenly start speaking in full sentences. They began with pitch. A high squeak meant danger above, while a low chest rumble signaled a calm environment. Your brain learned to decode emotion through vocal frequency. Over hundreds of thousands of years, the human vocal tract shifted downward, giving your throat unprecedented control over pitch and resonance. This anatomical transformation allowed early hominids to produce an incredible variety of distinct tones, far exceeding any other living primate on Earth. One of the earliest forms of vocal grooming happened between mothers and babies. A soothing, melodic hum instantly calmed a crying, vulnerable infant. By using soft rhythmic sounds, an ancient mother could comfort her baby without stopping her hands from foraging berries or preparing animal hides. Linguists call this ancestral stage musolanguage a primitive blend of music and emotion that existed long before humans invented nouns, verbs, or grammar. Imagine sitting near a rock shelter at twilight, hearing a shared rhythmic hum echo through the dark, instantly lowering your stress levels. Inside your DNA, key genetic mutations like the FOXP2 gene began fine-tuning the brain regions responsible for rapid muscle control in your mouth. Your brain was transforming into an ultra-sensitive acoustic decoder, capable of detecting microscopic changes in someone's emotional state just by tone. When the entire tribe joined in these simple vocal chants, something remarkable happened. Individual heart rates synchronized across the entire group. This shared acoustic experience created a deep feeling of oneness and loyalty, making 80 distinct individuals feel like a single unified body. Yet vocalizing had one dangerous flaw. While pitch and humming worked wonders around the campfire, sound travels far across the open grassy savanna. If you were creeping through tall grass tracking a massive 6-ton prey animal, uttering a single vocal sound would instantly ruin the entire hunt. How did ancient human hunters coordinate deadly group tactics in total silence without uttering a single word? That brings us to tactical signals. You make 3 subtle hand flicks, raise your eyebrows, and your hunting team instantly moves into position without emitting a single audible sound. Long before spoken words existed, your prehistoric ancestors developed a sophisticated lexicon of silent hand signals to coordinate complex group hunting strategies. Archaeological evidence, like 400,000-year-old wooden spears found at Skåningen, proves that early hominids executed carefully planned, highly coordinated team attacks. Human persistence hunting required hours of relentless tracking across hot plains, where hunters relied entirely on visual cues and gestures to stay aligned. While furry prey animals quickly overheated under the scorching sun, your ancestors used efficient sweating and silent gestures to wear down giant targets. A simple tap on the wrist pointed toward fresh animal tracks, while 2 raised fingers signaled a lurking predator hidden in the nearby brush. Sharp micro-expressions on your hunting partner's face instantly communicated distance, threat level, and exact readiness to strike without making any dangerous noise. Cognitive scientists call this joint intentionality, the unique human ability to focus attention on a shared goal using non-verbal eye contact and gestures. By combining eye gaze, pointing, and body posture, 5 hunters could surround a 6-ton beast in perfect synchrony without uttering a single sentence. When the prey finally fell, a single high-arm gesture signaled victory to tribe members watching from a distant ridge across the wide valley. Carrying heavy meat back to camp required continuous silent coordination, gesturing who should carry the load and who should guard against scavengers. These tactical hunting hand signs built the cognitive scaffolding for grammar, teaching early human brains to link action, subject, and direction together. Combining a silent hand gesture pointing at a deer with a quick vocal grunt created humanity's very first primitive noun-plus-verb sentence structure. Misinterpreting a hunting signal meant severe consequences: an escaped dinner, a broken spear, or a teammate crushed under a panicked animal's hooves. Successful hunts brought mounds of fresh meat back to the cave fire, but food abundance sparked a brand new social headache: who deserves a piece? When hunters brought back meat, lazy tribe members who rested all day wanted an equal share. Fairness became a massive prehistoric headache. In anthropology, these individuals are called freeriders, people who take collective resources without contributing any effort or taking any hunting risks. You could not monitor every single person in a 150-member tribe by yourself. You needed reliable social intelligence from trusted friends. That urgent survival necessity invented gossip, exchanging detailed information about third parties who were not physically present in the immediate circle. Anthropologist Robin Dunbar discovered that up to 2/3 of modern everyday human conversation still consists of social gossip and relationship tracking. Ancient gossip was not mindless drama, it was a vital defensive security radar, protecting your tribe from hoarders, liars, and dangerous freeloaders. When gossip exposed a selfish individual, the tribe responded with social pressure, satirical teasing, group ridicule, or refusing to share cooked food. If someone persistently refused to cooperate, the tribe banished them. In the wilderness, social exile was a terrifying, guaranteed death sentence. That is why your brain naturally experiences intense anxiety when you hear rumors or feel excluded by your modern social circle today. Protecting your social reputation was just as important as keeping your spear sharp, because your reputation determined whether you ate or starved. Simple animal vocal calls could only warn about a nearby lion. Gossip allowed humans to evaluate complex psychological character and trustworthiness. Language did not evolve merely to name rocks, trees, and berries. It evolved primarily to navigate complex human relationships and enforce social rules. By whispering around campfires about who was generous and who was selfish, early humans established the world's very first shared moral codes. Social trust became the ultimate invisible currency of survival, keeping large human bands cooperative, peaceful, and fiercely loyal to one another. Yet once the sun disappeared completely, gossip settled down, and the campfire sparked a whole new realm of communication: nighttime mythology. During bright daylight hours, almost all human conversation was strictly practical, finding water, tracking game, and managing daily survival camp chores. But as twilight fell and deep darkness swallowed the surrounding savanna, flickering campfires transformed ancient human social interaction completely. Anthropologist Wiessner recorded hunter-gatherer conversations, revealing a dramatic evolutionary shift in topics between bright daytime and nighttime. Daytime conversation focused almost entirely on economic survival, finding berry locations, enforcing hunting rules, and checking who was slacking off. Once darkness arrived, over 80% of nighttime campfire conversations switched entirely to captivating stories, ancient myths, and heroic adventures. Flickering firelight shadows dancing against cold cave walls stimulated your ancestors' brains, sparking deep pattern recognition and rich visual imagination. Elders began telling grand tales of legendary hunters, terrifying mythical beasts, and how the stars were placed in the sky. These nightly stories allowed listeners to experience dangerous situations mentally without ever facing physical danger in the real wilderness. Flickering firelight turned the terrifying dark forest into a cozy safe theater for collective dreaming and deep emotional tribal bonding. Through shared myths, early humans began believing in powerful invisible concepts, ancestral spirits, sacred moral laws, and shared tribal identity. Believing in the exact same mythical stories allowed complete strangers from different tribes to trust each other and cooperate peacefully. This cognitive ability to imagine fiction became humanity's greatest evolutionary superpower, enabling massive social cooperation far beyond simple family bloodlines. Mastering firelight effectively doubled the human social day, extending bonding time and cultural transmission deep into the cold prehistoric night. Around those glowing campfire embers, primitive vocal grunts finally evolved into timeless legends that outlasted individual human lives across generations. Yet spoken words disappear into the wind the moment they are uttered, forcing humans to invent permanent symbols painted on cave walls. Spoken words vanish into thin air the instant they are uttered. But pressing a hand covered in red pigment creates a permanent message. Hand stencils painted across Ice Age cave walls served as ancient human signatures, silently declaring to future strangers, "I existed here in this shelter." At Blombos Cave in South Africa, archaeologists uncovered engraved ochre rocks and perforated shell beads dating back tens of thousands of years ago. Researcher Christopher Henshelwood proved that abstract symbolic communication existed among early humans long before the famous animal cave paintings of Europe were drawn. Paleoanthropologist Genevieve von Petzinger surveyed over 50 Ice Age cave sites across Europe spanning 30,000 years of human prehistoric history. She made a mind-blowing discovery: across all those vast caves, early humans repeatedly used just 32 distinct geometric symbols over and over. These simple dots, zigzags, triangles, and aviform marks were not random doodles. They formed a standardized ancient visual code shared across entire continents. Simple red dots marked water sources and animal migration paths, serving as prehistoric trail signs for traveling bands of hunting tribes. Geometric shapes drawn at dark cave entrances warned incoming visitors about dangerous territory, sacred ritual chambers, or tribal boundaries in the valley. This was humanity's very first external memory system. Your ancestors no longer had to store every single piece of knowledge inside their brains. By leaving graphic signs painted on stone, human knowledge could travel through space and survive across generations long after the author had passed. This brilliant leap from spoken sounds to permanent graphic symbols created the exact cognitive foundation needed to eventually invent written alphabets in text. Every letter you read on your modern phone screen today is a direct descendant of those 32 geometric symbols painted in Ice Age caverns. Combining spoken gossip, tactical hand signals, and permanent cave symbols transformed your ancestors into an unstoppable, interconnected, highly adaptable global species. Yet after 300,000 years of foraging, talking, and painting, a dramatic agricultural shift was about to completely rewrite how humans communicate forever. When you scroll through social media on your phone late at night, your modern brain is operating on software programmed hundreds of thousands of years ago. Your mind evolved to handle a small tribe of 150 people, where knowing everyone's secrets and social standing kept you alive and safe. Every notification ping triggers a spike of dopamine because your ancient instincts fear being left out of vital tribal news or exiled into the wilderness. Receiving likes and positive comments on your posts activates the exact same endorphin pathways in your brain as ancient vocal grooming around prehistoric campfires. When someone ignores your message or leaves you unread, your brain processes that social rejection in the same neural regions that handle severe physical pain. Modern online outrage and cancel culture are direct evolutionary descendants of ancient tribe public shaming used to punish selfish freeloaders 30,000 years ago. Sensational viral stories spread rapidly today because your survival instincts are hardwired to pay urgent attention to dramatic, high-stakes social warnings over quiet facts. Even awkward modern office politics and subtle boss body language echo the ancient nonverbal hierarchy signals developed during prehistoric group hunts on the savannah. During modern video calls, you still instinctively scan eyebrow twitches, tone changes, and micro-expressions, using the same acoustic decoder your ancestors used in dark caves. This is a classic evolutionary mismatch, a 300,000-year-old Stone Age brain navigating a hyper-connected digital world it was never biological designed to inhabit. Yet your constant deep desire to gossip, connect, and share stories is not a modern character flaw, it is your ancient species' greatest evolutionary superpower. Whenever you hum a gentle melody to soothe a sleeping child, you are echoing the exact same soothing vocal waves used by prehistoric mothers. Human communication was never just about transmitting facts, it was about building invisible webs of trust and warmth against the dark, cold wilderness outside. From tactical hand signals on grasslands to cave symbols and glowing glass screens, your voice remains the ultimate bridge connecting you to every ancestor. Tonight, you sit before a glowing phone, messaging your friend about trivial daily gossip. But inside your skull, your ancient brain is still playing that exact same prehistoric survival game,